Alexander, back at you with another video. Today we are taking a look at a wedding demo reel that I just published yesterday from my 2024 wedding season. I filmed something like 30 weddings last year, and moving into 2025, I'm already scheduled for 35 weddings on the books. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the cameras and my experience with the C400 and the C70 that I've been using exclusively over the past year to film weddings. Before we talk that, let's go ahead and have a quick discussion, or a quick look, I should say, at my demo reel, 1 minute long, using the C400 and the C70. See which footage you like better, see which footage you think is a C400 and which footage you think is a C70. Let's take a look. I started filming weddings in 2019, and my first wedding camera, I remember, was an EOS R, and I used it for both photo and video, and I marketed myself as both a wedding photographer and a wedding videographer. And since I've upped my game and marketed myself more as a narrative storyteller, cinematic storyteller, if you will, for weddings, unfolding the day as it happens, capturing the moments as it happens, but still applying some cinematic techniques, whether it be some dramatic lighting with interviews, or finding the right light, shooting shadow side, and applying some cinematic techniques. I really had to reevaluate some of my techniques and how I film, because some clients just want TikTok videos for their wedding films. They don't want a traditional 16:9 video. So I'm staying versatile in that regard, and as we know, it's not necessarily the strongest that survive in the business world. It's the most adaptable. Okay, C400 versus the C70, and then the C80, there's that factor as well. If you're coming from the mirrorless world and you're looking to get your first cinema camera, I would absolutely recommend the C70. It's come down in price a lot, and you're still gonna have a lot of the features on the C80 minus that full frame sensor. The C70 offers a DGO sensor, dual gain output, which is going to, for the sensor size, give you some incredible contrast and dynamic range. Also gonna give you some better low light capabilities, and you're shooting on a Super 35 sensor, so there's gonna be a crop factor when you're using your full frame RF glass, but that's not a deal breaker for me by any means. The C80 and the C400, on the other hand, have a triple base ISO, allowing it to see in the dark. You're gonna get into upwards of 13,000 ISO and still have a usable image, which is great for times when you're shooting low lights, such as at a wedding reception. The C400 also offers better raw internal recording formats, and you're also gonna get 6K full frame, obviously, out of the C400 and the C80. However, the C70 produces and yields a better look, in my opinion, softer image quality. That dual gain output is not to be ignored. It renders a very soft and cinematic, beautiful image, which is great for my narrative work, for my artwork, such as short films or indie films, and then of course weddings. For more of a commercial and more of a branding look, I would always go with the C400 because it's going to be a much sharper, much more rich image. But the C70 offers an image quality that is still sought after in a day and age where the term cinematic is changing quite dramatically. So with that said, since I have a C70, from a fiscal standpoint as a business owner, it doesn't make any sense for me to buy the C80. The only reason I would consider buying the C80 right now is to match footage for interviews. I recently filmed a documentary where the director that hired me, he was rolling with a C80, and he wanted to pair my C400 with the project. Those two cameras match beautifully, not only in terms of just the footage, but also just being both on full frame sensors. But seeing as how I have 35 weddings coming up this season, I don't think I'm going to be investing in a C80, primarily due to the fact that I love using the C70 for weddings. Now, if I want to soften the image on the C400, you can easily do so for about 70 bucks, and you can use a Pro Mist filter. Throwing the Pro Mist filter on, as I'll show you. So now we have a 1/4 Pro Mist filter on, and as you can see, it's going to soften skin tone slightly and bloom your highlights, making your roll off on your lighting and your highlights just a little softer. That's going to help match image quality when I'm shooting on the C400 and the C70. So you could probably tell some of the differences between the footage. Now keep in mind, a lot of times I am rolling on with the Pro Mist filter on my C400. So it might be hard to tell, but this was a shot on the C70.
Happy wedding day.
And this was a shot on the C400. So there's really just some trade-offs. Triple base ISO with the C80 or that dual gain output on the C70. On a side note, if you are looking to get involved in making a production business, weddings are a great way to do that. I know a lot of us don't like to hear that because weddings do involve hard work. They are a little bit stressful. You know, there's a lot of things that could go wrong on wedding days as a videographer, as a photographer. But I will tell you, once you get over that initial hump of nervousness and figure out your style, it's a profitable payday. So if you're wanting to justify that C70 purchase, that C80 purchase, that R5 Mark II, consider doing weddings. And you don't have to have a wedding website or a wedding business. I have an LLC, I have a business bank account, I have insurance, I have all these things, but you really don't need any of that. All you need is a camera, and you get on a Facebook group and offer your services as a second shooter. And there's a lot of times people like me will be looking for second shooters. I'm gonna end it at that. I hope this video has been helpful. If you're new here, consider subscribing. We talk cameras and all things the creative process. Let me know what else you'd like to know. Got a plethora of gear here to talk about, business experience to talk about, whatever you have questions about, let me know and I'll try to make a video about it, or I'll just email you one-on-one and give you some thoughts. I'm not a one-stop know-it-all shop. I'm learning as I go every day with the attempts of just trying to stay passionate about running my business and then of course making money so I can continue doing what it is I love doing. All right, I'll end it at that. I hope you all have a great day and I'll catch you in the next video. Take care.